I like that creaky floorboard. It means it's a real house, as opposed to... Anyway, now... Guess who, guess where? Good morning. Old Francis at his Christian Place. And that is Beethoven's 7th Symphony being conducted by Herbert von Karajan. I'm back. Whew. Trip down to Dan South. And basically, I've got the green light. They're going to prioritize me, but in a civilized way, because I have to have heart stuff done up here to check and see if I've got one of those heart things, and how pumping marvellous it is. And from being actually one of the top sportsmen in the world, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, it's just a fact. Under 16, so just the other day, at squash, in fact, which again is one of those sports which is rated as one of the players are some of the fittest in the world. I was a jolly sporty bunny up to that age. Here I am, hobbledy, broken left knee, fixed and then needing revision, pumping marvellous, the old heart's acute heart failure. What else have I got? Get the violins out. Right, so enough of that. The world's a mess. Have I fixed it yet? No. Will God guide me to ways of so doing? Well, God helps those who help themselves, but don't get caught, of course, that's the little joke. You can't help others unless you are together within yourself, basically, which I've also always known, as it were. Well, I've had a little rest. It's now my time of day. 5 to 3, everything stops for tea. Well, I've actually had before I left, I made a pot of tea and the taxi was early, so I've had my tea. It requires more than one person to fix this world. Blessedly, on Friday now, so 2 days ago, I'm now on Sunday, the 6th of June, 2021. Amongst other people I met was this lovely West Indian lady, big, tall lady. And I thought I'd spoken with her before, but anyway, we just got chatting, and she said, "Oh, you look like Moses." And I said, "Oh, no. Yes, anyway, but we were Christians. She knew stuff, and I listened, and we just agreed on all sorts of stuff. Just like that, on the moment. She was waiting for the bus. I'd just come back from the hospital, so I was pretty tired and no rush to go anywhere. And we just chatted for a while. She was a Christian. Well, the world's got whatever it is, 7,000, 800 or 900 million people. Well, just think if every one of us were Christians, how much more powerful that situation would be, instead of all the deniers and naysayers and all the rest of them, amongst whom I generally feel I'm living, quite frankly. In the whole time I lived in Harpenden, 9 months, I only had one sort of spontaneous, genuine, in a similar manner, and curiously enough, another West Indian man this time, actually, with anyone. It's not quite true, actually. But certainly, counting them on the fingers of one hand, well, think how many people I'd met in 9 months. I'm always meeting people and getting into conversations. It's what I do when I'm out and about. Well, it's sickening. My hope is that it will be at least. I've even had a call. I put myself up on, Christian Broadcasting Place. It's not myself. It's what I hope to turn into something. My Christian Broadcasting Place on Google Maps. And I even had a call from someone. It's the first call I've had. Oh, I want to come round. Oh, and she just about to break into tears. I could hear it. I said, and I was knackered too. I mean, it really takes it out of me now as travelling, because I'm a knackered old bunny just doing nothing. So I said, yes, you're welcome, on the spot. She said, I'll be round in 10 minutes. And then she messaged saying, maybe, at least I know where you are or something. I said, yes, well, you're still very welcome. She didn't come, but it's actually the first contact I've had, again, in months and months, that my site was up on the Google Maps down there. I never had a dicky bird out of it. God can make things happen. As it happens, on Friday I met 3 other people. An elderly gentleman whom I grew quite fond of. We'd sort of meet, I think he's 80 plus, and just have a nice chat, just a sort of distant neighbour. Another lovely old boy who used to work on the market, and he'd come into Costa's and get his coffee and marmalade. Soldiers, he'd make lovely little soldiers, and then he'd get a paper and have a quiet doze in the corner. So I met both of them, and then on the bus going to the hospital, lo and behold, I think she's a lay Methodist woman. So those 3 people, how did God arrange that? They're 3 of my favourite people in the whole of St Albans. Just casual acquaintances, really, but, So there were those 4 meetings, one a complete stranger, the West Indian lady, and the other 3 on the Friday. To the millisecond it has to be. I missed one bus, so I had to get the next bus to meet the lady, the Methodist one, on the bus, etc. And the anaesthetist, in fact, is who I'm seen by on the pre-operative assessment, again was the same lady who, believe it or not, assessed me 18 months ago. I've been waiting for this. And the same other lady who did the observations was still there, so those 2. And I really liked this lady, Dr. Rachel Bamba. I remember her name now because there was Bamba Gascoigne, the chap on the telly who did University Challenge. So I've got to sort myself out, the heart side of stuff up here, get registered and all the rest of it. But they did an ECG, right? So my body is, in her opinion, having looked at the ECG, basically up to taking, it's a big op, general anaesthetic and etc. And then I might be able to walk again and lose some weight, and it's on the up and up then. Instead of being an old wreck who's on crutches from his bed to the bathroom, for heaven's sake. Right, enough of me. But it is important, physician, heal thyself. Well, I can't. Okay? Not alone. It has to come from God. Not with a broken marriage with a child who's committed suicide. I can't Never. I can never just say puff to that. Never. My hair and my beard I never cut. Not till I die. But I do recognize God at work in my life. I am utterly transformed through God's refining fire person. In the last 31 years, I am a completely different human being, quite frankly. My spirit is completely different to what I was at 30. I'm, 32 or something. 3, I suppose. I met my former wife in 1990. I'm now 64, so, I'm getting on a bit. Right, so first fix yourself with, and it's very good, the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital are so good. They are literally world-renowned, up there amongst the best orthopaedic facilities in the whole world, and they fix other people's mistakes, and they've got all sorts of real experts in sort of niche areas because they have such a volume of specialized work. So even if something were to go wrong, the MRSA rates are very well managed, very low. MRSA is that very nasty bug. Never mind COVID. MRSA just kills you. And if anyone gets it, they totally deep clean the whole area. It's a very nasty bug. And once that takes hold in a hospital, then bus off, watch out. It's one of the reasons I definitely want to go to that hospital, because I know that I'm most unlikely to get MRSA, never mind COVID. You go in for, a relatively minor procedure, and 9 months later, having cut various bits of you out and stuffed you on handfuls of antibiotics and all the rest, because I'm not sure about this, but whether we even have, I think there's possibly one antibiotic which is still effective. But the old MRSA goes on mutating much faster than the drugs companies can keep up. That is the way of it. So never mind COVID, and of course their COVID procedures are, again, top whack. Hygiene and just general behaviour. Plus the vaccine is kicking in, so, in England, the deaths or the UK, they were having, I think it went up to 18, even 1,900 deaths per day at one point, quite recently. And now they've had a few days, I think, with 0 deaths directly associated with COVID-19. So, jolly marvellous. A really successful little outing. I've got the positive hope now, and again this lovely Dr. Bamber, the anaesthetist lady, who incidentally went off to have a child, maternity leave. So she knew exactly when I came, because she was just about to go and have her child, whose name is Samuel, this little boy. So she knew exactly when it was. Because I remembered so well, she was saying, "Oh, you've just caught me before I go off on maternity leave." And I think she specifically wanted to be on duty to assess me because of the previous, amongst others, but association. So there was continuity there that she knew me from before. Right, so onwards and upwards. Such a lovely little place where I am. And I do. The main upstairs bedroom is just an empty room with a cross, candle, one chair at the moment, but that's all I need. Only one of me. Consider two chairs at once. I suppose you could actually have your feet up on one. Anyway, well, my hope is that one day people will come to share our love of God through Christ here at this place. The Quakers did it. You just meet in people's homes, not a great big fancy church. But to reverently worship God together. That's the point. Christ says it's in the book of Gospel of Matthew, where two or more are gathered together in my name, there I am also. So there's something about two or more gathering together. It's all very well praying alone, fine, wonderful. But it's this question of gathering together, which is human nature, of course. We're inclined to form communities rather than just single people isolated, as it were, and that's just obvious. But it's this question of where two or more are gathered together in my name, Yahweh, the Tetragrammaton, in my name, God says, through Christ, there I am also. That's why churches exist at all. That is the root of a church. Amen. Poor old Beethoven got gagged.